So the date is the 26th of December of the year 2001, right?
Yes.
We're doing this second in the series of an electromagnetic class in Honolulu. Here we go. It's interesting. When I'm in the room, like preparing for any class that I'm to offer, I'm really, really super aware of the fact that it could be any one of you, and in fact, it will be any one of you. Don't make me point you out. Who will be doing the same thing in a very short amount of time? No, really. Only in this sense that, when it comes to,
You two, I'm going to separate you.
She's the monitor. Trish is the monitor, yeah. Anyone who's not behaving, I have a little present for you, Brown. Okay, I'll give it to you later, okay? Okay, well, anyway, just this, that, when it comes to something like teaching a class, really, I mean this, and this is no false modesty, no nothing, but it's really quite true that all you need to do is sit in this chair and you would teach the class just as well. And if we, weren't a little pressed for time and opportunity, I would prove it. Go, Ruth, get up here. She'd do that. John, get up here. Susan, get up here. I mean, Jamie, really, only because, and that is a very important point, and that's one of the first points I want to offer, is that there is what is known as the office that we would say of the teacher, and that simply means the position that you choose or elect or by your free will take, and that is it. And it simply means that when you sit in that chair, if you will, or that office, then spirit will move through you because it needs to. And we need to get that sense because, spirit, I believe, and I say spirit very, very collectively, you understand, capital S to be sure, really needs us. And that to me has been one of the most beautiful points of revelation of my whole spiritual path, is that I am needed. I love that song. There was a song by Anne Murray called You Needed Me. And it's very beautiful. It's a beautiful song. It's very touching. In fact, if we had our karaoke set up, I'd sing it for you. But no, don't worry. I'll spare you. But no, it's a nice song. And it's, you needed me. No, no, but I think it's a lady, Anne Murray, and she says, like, you needed me means like you made me feel worthy. You made me feel real or worthwhile or needed. You needed me. Spirit needs us, and because we are not apart from Spirit. And that's got to be the most maybe important point we could ever make in our spiritual path, is that there's not a separation, though there may appear to be, and I know there does appear to be, especially when you're looking from physical, senses and such. But really, I mean, I've heard this so many times, and how many times I cried tears of like humility at that. They said, you are my hands and feet. Without you, I couldn't have accomplished what I did today. And that is very touching, and yet it's very real. That's not flattery. It's not exaggeration. It's real. It's absolutely real. I mean, to use a very mundane example, let's just say I had a business somewhere somehow, and any of you or one of you or whoever were my employees, I would need you to man the store. And if you weren't there, guess what? I do no business that day. Same thing. I mean, on a much larger and more wonderful scale, but really. And so I really want to stress that because it's absolutely true and real, and please, whatever you do, and I know it's so easy to get this attitude of, oh, good am I, my faults, and this and that, I'm lazy, I'm this, I'm that, what I forget things, what am I doing, who am I helping? You need to know that just by your heart, just by your state of heart, you are vibrating love. And there's not one of you here that is not in that category, or you wouldn't be here, and it's that simple. So I'm not trying to get, sentimental or anything like that. I'm talking real true. It's too bad that, our mechanistic society has moved away from this truth in a way that almost makes it seem by relativity, by comparison, that it seems, oh, we were getting real mushy, and all gonna hug and kiss, and big, dog pile. Okay. Oh, we all love each other, happy, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, I mean, and there is, that perception, but it's not really quite true, because as a matter of fact, from my point of view, we don't catch that enough. It should be a daily realization as far as I'm concerned. That doesn't mean that all day long we're sitting there, feeling like that, but it's true and it's real, and it's like any, meal you might make. It's one of the definite ingredients. Don't leave it out. It's quite real and quite true. So I just want to make that point because I'm inspired to make it, and it's totally the truth. So please know that, When we leave this world and we so-called die, Notice I would say so-called. I always say the so-called dead. We so-called die, because of course we all know we don't. And we go into that other world. Well, we drop the personality, we drop the physical body. We do not drop what we would call our heart, much less our soul. Certainly not our consciousness. So what we take with us into the other side is something that's really, I would say, is our essence. It's the part of you that's not there on a bad hair day, okay? Okay? It's not there when you're crabby. It's not there when you just snapped at someone you feel bad about it later, you know. It's the best part of you and more. And that's really real, and it's very true. And Spirit is very much, you know, insistent that I talk about this. And not just because it happens to be Christmas, and you know, you understand, I'm not just waxing sentimental. I'm really not. This is true every day of the year and beyond that. So we all need to know that, okay? So just so you all know, please. And therefore, when I say to you that if it were not me teaching the class, one of you would be doing it, and in fact, what you all shall be doing it, I mean it. I'm not joking. Because all you need to do is witness somebody like me who can sit up here and open his mouth and start letting it flow, to know that you can do the same thing. I mean, I'm no, you know, I don't have anything over you in that sense, you know, really. So, you know, that's a very important point, and it was what I was told to begin with tonight, which is why I'm doing it. I am obedient if nothing else. Thank God. I've been beaten into it. The masters have come, yes, exactly, you know, and hallelujah. The masters have commented, all those wonderful beings on the wall, they've commented that, you know, the only reason they are what you would call masters or saints or divine beings is because they tried everything else, and guess what? It didn't work. Dead ends. So after everything else fails, what do? You know, you just do the right thing because nothing else works. You know, it's like a rat in a maze. There's only one way you're going to get the food, okay? You know, really. Quite true. And, you know, we keep trying, and, you know, we're creative, aren't we? Woo-hoo! We sure are. We try every little thing we can think of.
So clever.
But one day we're so clever, aren't we? You know. But what does it buy us, really? Dead ends. You know. And that doesn't mean we have to be goody-goodies and anything we're not naturally. Au contraire, as the French would say. We, in fact, are the best, I think, when we're the most close to our own hearts and doing that thing that is the most, you know, natural to us. So, you know, I just like to say it. Okay, so let us begin. I call at this time to the wonderful, incredibly, beautifully magnificent forces of light, those wonderful angels, devas, and angelic beings who are with us in this hour, those who have come here with you, who have graced us with their presence, who are here specifically for tonight, to please come and accept this my invocation and invitation to join us here and flood my brain with the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and to use me as your instrument so that I can speak those words that are truly in the collective God consciousness of us all. That which the Hawaiians would refer to as the aumakua. In fact, when it is working in a group, it's called the poe aumakua, the group higher self. Let it be done. Let it come forth. Let it touch each one of us, and let not one of us walk away tonight, but that we've been deeply moved, changed, enlightened, and shown something that we had not seen before. That is my call, my wish, and that which I truly, you know, share with all of you here tonight. So let it be done in this very hour, and I'm grateful for all the gods and goddesses and all the dear ones and our beloved elder brother Jesus the Christ, whose birthday we are commemorating, but not only him, and he would be the first to say, not only me, you know, but all the wonderful beings who have touched earth and perhaps not been recognized by the mass consciousness, in that they've given so much. So it's happened in every country, in every climate, in every land. So we are grateful for all the wonderful ones. And the most wonderful thing, perhaps of all, is that we get a chance to follow in their footsteps and be just as they are, have been, and that we will be. So we are grateful for these things. Let them be done. Y a la Señora de Guadalupe, le pido que ella también esté aquí con nosotros esta noche, que nos bendiga con su santa devoción, con su corazón, con su amor, y que todo el mundo hispánico esta noche sea bendecido por su presencia, que yo le invoco, que esta noche esté aquí con nosotros y que a cada uno de nosotros nos toque para que todos estemos tan santificados como ella es. Nuestra Señora Guadalupana, te invito y que vengas aquí como tú te apareciste a nuestro hermano Juan Diego una noche en esa loma fuera de la Ciudad de México, para que estés aquí con nosotros y que a todos nos das una prueba de tu santa bendición. Y magnífica Señora de Luz, te agradecemos completamente y te invitamos que esté con nosotros esta noche. So with that invocation done and accomplished, we are here. So be it. Okay. We're here to talk about electromagnetic energy. Last week, for those of you who may not have joined us, we clarified that it's really kind of simple, at least as far as we're concerned. You know, we're not here, like we're not rocket scientists, so we're not here to talk about, heavy equations. Just the fact that the very word electromagnetic would most naturally break down into electric and magnetic, one being that force which goes out and the other which draws in or magnetizes that which we have an intention to bring in. Okay. It is so powerful, and especially this night, because we are facing a crisis, whether we know it or not. It's been shown to me. I've been sensing it. It's coming. Forgive me, please, if I don't go into the details of this, because I just don't have the time, nor is it prudent to do so. But the political forces that are governing the planet, I'll put it like that, are the ones that are directly connected with what occurred on September 11th, okay? You all know that. I'm not going to say it was this, that one, the next one. I'm not going to say it was the Taliban or it was this or it was Osama bin Laden, any of these people. Frankly, to be very blunt about it, I know for a fact that it was not quite what the media would have us see. So, sorry if I'm shocking you or stepping on toes here. I don't mean to. I just happen to know that that's the truth. Okay, so what I'm saying is that, but however, that doesn't change the fact that there are very definite and very potent forces on the planet that are governing money and the forces of money and where money goes and where it doesn't go, and they decided they needed to make a real heavy, stand, and they did. Well, guess what? They want to make another one. And they are not especially concerned with the welfare of us as far as human beings. They don't see us as brothers and sisters, and there's a lot more to it. So again, I'm not going to get into all that, so please forgive me. Some of you who are, I want the facts, man. Well, you're not going to get them here tonight. Sorry, not in that sense. But do know this, that we have the power, we have the prerogative, we have the privilege of using the electric energetic ray that we have been told about to send away that which some of them are contemplating this very night. Do you know that between now and what's called New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, they have a plan? I've been feeling it. It's made me very uncomfortable. And I just got a real clear thing on it in the room. And so let us do that before we do one more thing, if you don't mind. And all I would say is this: if you would just, each and every one of you, if you would just kind of, in your own way, whether with eyes open or closed, you decide, let us please be grateful that we have the power to send away that which we do not feel is good for us or our brethren. And we do. It's like the head of a family, You got the power to protect your kids. You do. Protect your home. It's beautiful. Thank God. We're not victims. God is not a victim. Never was. Never will be. So therefore, we who are chips off the old block, how can we be? Right? We're not. Thank God. So let us do that. So if you would, each in your own way, call to whatever spiritual forces, deities, masters, saints, gods, you name it. I mean, it's up to you in your own way. But please now make contact with whatever spiritual sources or forces you feel are potent, real, and available to you, and invite them to please intensify our efforts here to send away this very, very human plot, I will say. And when I make the distinction, I mean human as opposed to divine. The human is free to go ways that the divine would not go. Okay, we all have done that, and we all, know what that's about. So please, to send away what has been shown to me as like a plot of sorts to cause things to happen that would further hurt people and cause a lot of confusion, because that seems to be their MO. They want to cause people to be very unsettled. in a time when people would be gathering together and loving and sharing in the family ohana state, they would like to come and do some terrible thing. It's too bad, but that's how they think, okay? So please, let us all send it away, okay? Far away, it is gone. Let's neutralize it. That will not occur because we, by the grace of God, have joined our hearts today and are using the electrical flow of energy to send it out just like an electrical current, just like an electrical fence will hold a certain current, even though it be a very subtle one, enough to keep cattle and horses and whatever other animals away from the fence because the person who owns that land wants to keep them there. And so he sets up that current. Well, we can do the same. We're protecting our planet. We're protecting our peace of mind. More than anything, perhaps we're protecting our younger brothers and sisters who don't even know they have this power. So let us send away any plots, any sinister strategies, anything that might be existing, whether we know about it or not. In most cases, we probably don't, which could, would, or have the potential to strike fear, terror, pain, and worse into the hearts of our brothers and sisters. There's no need for it. It is gone. Send it away. Let us send them such a wave of aloha, such a wave of the pure spirit of our wonderful Aina here, that they will be completely neutralized. And whatever it is that they're planning just won't happen. It just won't happen. They won't be able to go through with it now or never, and their chance will be done. Let the wonderful wave of love and aloha that we share here, that we all feel, go forth from this place, from our wonderful Hawaiʻi, and go out like a wave of wonderful fragrance of plumeria, of puakenekene, of pikake, tuberose, and whatever other scent you may want to send. But it goes with a punch, you know. It's not just a wonderful scent. It goes out with that ability to neutralize negativity, to neutralize sinister strategies, and basically to neutralize spiritual blindness that would be obviously at the core of anyone who would even think in such terms, which we don't. So let us do that, please. Let's send it out in full power and let the love force that we are so privileged to share and feel in our hearts and souls go forth, and from this place, our wonderful and beautiful home here in Hawaii, let it go forth and just completely envelop the planet till it returns to us. And we have a wonderful feeling that we have truly this night accomplished a wonderful purpose, that we have truly fulfilled that which has been the wish of those who are in higher realms, but who, complying with cosmic law, have instructed us that the call and action must be made from the level where the need is at, and that is this level. It's not up to them to do it, it's up to us to do it, because we are here in this dimension. So let us do it, dear ones, please. Let us go forth and send that loving, beautiful feeling around the planet so it goes round and round, returns to us, and keeps on going. You know, it's going all the way around this wonderful planet, huli huli, all the way around. It goes round and round and round. It's just going over and over until, you know what, there is no such thing as these things, but only love, only aloha. And that is our wonderful gift tonight that we can give, and we're so privileged to be able to do it. It's very, very powerful. And we're very, very privileged to be able to send this out. Of course, we can do it any time. But we're here in a group, and the power of groups is always more potent than the power of the individual. So be it. Let it go forth. So be it. So be it. So be it. Aloha pumihana. Aloha nui loa. And we invite our beloved friends in spirit, our dear ones who are with us a lot, our guides and teachers, to do the same with us. And we have accomplished a wonderful thing tonight. That is one of the most wonderful, practical, present, and potent uses of the electric current of electromagnetic energy. This is the instruction that we are given. We're told about the ability to send out and then to attract and receive. And this is the way we can do it. It's very, very powerful, very beautiful. And it is done, and it is finished, and it is sealed. by our will. Some of you, and I hope all of you, but some of you anyway, hopefully have received the newsletter that we sent out, in which we mentioned there was a little article that I thought I'd throw in there about that very thing. Because this time of year, especially most of us, I don't know about you, but it's not like we're rolling in the dough. It's a time when we're all doing what we can do. But money is not the issue, is it? It's the heart giving. It's the ability to give. It's the knowledge and the power. Knowledge is power anyway, to give what we can give. So electromagnetic energy then becomes that very thing. Now, we want to also, though, deal with magnetic energy. And in this case, again, I'm going to have to invite you to go into your own, as I say, closet, which means your own inner, sanctum, your sanctum sanctorum, as they call it, your holy place to pray. And what I would like you to call forth, and I cannot instruct you in this because each one of your hearts is going to instruct you. Draw in, and if you don't mind, we'll start with a planetary, then we'll get more personal. Draw in the thing the planet needs the most tonight. Whatever you think it is. It could be a lot of things, I have my idea, it might be the same as yours, you never know, probably will be. But we don't know, whatever. Let's draw it in, and when I say draw it in, I'm not speaking figuratively, I'm speaking literally. So when I say draw, I mean draw. If you were not here last week, we spoke about Sir Arthur's analogy that he once gave about a little kid, he goes, who once would order a malt that's very thick. And that kid wants that malt so bad. And you know what? Suddenly it ain't coming up the straw, so what do? You suck on that thing real hard. Okay? And it means a draw. It's a magnetic current. It is. But it is really. Funny how those things can occur, in the day-to-day, we didn't really think about it. A little kid's going to go, I'm employing a magnetic current to draw the malt up the straw, but that's exactly what they're doing. It's magnetic. It means you're pulling it towards yourself. So we want to draw in from the universal mind and heart and soul the most wonderful thing, whatever the most magnificent thing you all could think of, each individually, that our planetary body needs, that our culture needs, because we're all in this together. As long as we're in these physical bodies, we're sharing, the place that we're here. So let's pull that in, if you would, and then we're truly using the energies that they're teaching us to use. Pull it strongly. Now, you want to use some effort here, Some of you are familiar with the term huki lao. You pull. Those fish don't come in, easy, right? Pull. So pulling whatever it is, the wonderful thing. First choose it, and then draw it in, and then envelop the planet with it. And you have done a magnificent work tonight, even if we got up and left right now, which we're not going to. But that's what our job is, so I invite you. Excuse me, I would be silent, and I was about to be, but I was told very clearly to say, and for those of you who can't think of anything better to draw in the feminine ray. We need feminine energy on the planet. We need the energy of the Divine Mother. So if you can't think of something better than that, that's what you want to go for, okay? It's up to you. We need the feminine energy, which includes all those wonderful feminine virtues that I think are the balance to what is wrong. Sweet. I'm so touched. I'm getting the most beautiful message right now, and it's this. a very, very wonderful, sweet, feminine voice is saying this to me. She says, won't you invite these beloved ones to, by the magic of their hearts and souls, create on the earth this night food for those who have it not, shelter for those who need it most, and comfort for those who are most in need of that wonderful quality. So let us do that. She is promising that if we will be willing to do it and send it out, that just our group dynamic here can make 1,000 and more differences in the individual lives of many of our brothers and sisters who this night and this day, because in some places of the planet it's daytime, will suddenly find, as if by magic, that what they need the most in the way of food, shelter, or comfort will suddenly be there for them. Let us do that. Let's magnetize. You have to draw it now. Use your will. You have a strong will. Use it, please, now. This is the right use of will. Make a difference. You just put food in someone's mouth. You just created a blanket, a shelter. It is Kuan Yin who has suggested this. And she further says, and if I might ask one more thing, she says that tonight hearts will forgive, hearts will forgive, hearts will forgive. Okay, good, thank you. Two nights ago, I did a reading for a very dear friend of mine who lives in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And as the reading was concluding, suddenly there was this bright light that hit me. And it was a very unexpected blessing. And it was the Lady Master Mary that came. This is Christmas Eve night. And she was sharing her gratitude for the lady that I was reading for. It was a very dear friend of mine. And she said, I want to thank you. She's because you were the wife of an innkeeper who swayed him to open a space for us when we needed it. And you did. And he did. And we were comforted. And she said, and because of that, many other things occurred consequently. And, these things come up in readings. It's very beautiful. It's that thing about, we think that such roles or such, happenings We tend to put them far away from us. Oh, well, that would never be me. You don't know that. You really don't know that. Believe me, they're very close at hand. You'd be surprised. Very, very close at hand. What we are also asked to contemplate tonight is this, that when it comes to electromagnetic energy, we need to get very comfortable with the concept that anything that we encounter in life, and I mean on the day-to-day, moment-to-moment, we can influence. Because whatever comes up in your face is there for you to deal with, right? Whatever, doesn't matter. So if something comes up you don't like it, send it away. If something comes up you do want, bring it in. You know, it makes you potent. It makes you what you really are, which is a cell of energy, of power, right? We're not weaklings. I mean, we never were. So we need to, I think, have a sense of that, you know, very powerfully. And what I was asked to guide us into this night was this. Now, you've all heard the term intuition, and it usually means this kind of a knowing about something that you would not always have a way of knowing, you know, by your physical senses. Well, I really want you to use your intuition tonight, and it's this. Each and every one of us here, so I'm told, I totally believe it, not in this lifetime, but in the future of your soul, will have a very major mission that you will be asked to accomplish. And some of you go, well, how would I know what that is? Well, your intuition, of course, but you know, if that seems a little vague, think about what you're about now. What are you about? What's your did. It's not anything to minimalize at all. On the contrary, what are you about? Who are you? What's your strength? What makes you different? What do you do? What are you good at? Think of it. And again, our temptation in this world is to think, oh, well, not much, or, you know, whatever. And, you know, I understand that. I've done that myself, but this isn't the place and time for that. It's the time rather to think in terms of, well, there's got to have been an undercurrent in your life, right? There's something about you. How would anyone who was, let's say, would have known you more than 5 years describe you? Okay, think about that. Now take that quality or that ability or that skill or whatever and maximize it like 1,000 times into the future. That's where you're going. That's who you are, right? You know? And so it's not a time to think small, it's a time to think big, okay? We don't want any little manini trips here. We want everything mega, mega, mega. Mega. Big, 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 big. Really. And, you know, and if you've never done this, it's a good time to do it. But whatever it is, what I was guided to ask us all to do was to take a moment or two, focus in on that quality. Or it could be more than one thing. It doesn't have to be just one thing. It could be, you know, I'm good at this, I'm good at that. Cool. You probably are. And see where you think it would be taking you, because it's there for a reason. Why does that make you different from the person next to you? And again, I feel that there's one or two of you at least here who are thinking, oh, I don't have a whole lot going, or I just do this little mundane little thing. Please, I ask you to open your sight, because whatever it is that you may think is mundane or, you know, not that important, it has a higher counterpart. As above, so below. If I were what they call a sanitation engineer, y'all know what that is? Okay? Heard that? In the future, I would be clearing the opala of the universe. That needs to be done. I would be proud to do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't care what it is. So again, it's not a time to think in terms of small but big. So take a moment, if you would, think of what your heart's about. You know yourselves. You know, and I don't want to hear any nothing. You're not. That's just not true. So take whatever it is that you feel is a skill, a talent. You know that your your soul seems to be able to share with others. Well, what is it that you have, do, or share that can and has enlightened the lives of other people. Pick something. It's yours. And whatever it is, take it into the mega, 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 because that's what it will do in the future, and take that, and what they're asking us to do is to maximize it, like to give power to it, and in so doing, what you're really doing is you're opening the valve of that use and service right now. It's always most potent in the moment, okay? Some of you may have never done this. Some of you, this could be old hat. Who knows? Bear with us if you are. Don't be bored. But the point is, this is a magnificent thing. And I just go on guidance. I just sit and listen, and whatever they tell me, I share it with you, and I can see the beauty of it. I hope you do. So please do that. That's what we're doing now. As you do this, I'm going to be singing a little song that I was told to sing. And never mind my singing, be it off key or whatever, okay? Just go ahead and you take your wonderful talents, skills, and abilities, shoot them into the future, because that's where they're going anyway, or what you would call the future if you're thinking in terms of linear time, and see it fanning out to where you are indeed a most important constituent part of the universal plan. When I awake, I'll see thy face. When I awake, I will see thy light. When I awake, I'll see thy face. When I awake, I will see thy light. Mother, awake me from my dreams. Mother, awake me in thy light. Hand in hand we'll be dancing together, dancing together in thy light. When I awake, I'll see thy face. When I awake, I will see thy light. When I awake, I'll see thy face. When I awake, I will see thy light. Mother, awake me from my dreams. Mother, awake me in thy light. Hand in hand, we'll be dancing together, dancing together in thy light. When I awake, I'll see thy face. When I awake, I will see thy light. When I awake, I'll see thy face. When I awake, I will see thy light. Mother, awake me from my dreams. Mother, awake me in thy light. Hand in hand, we'll be dancing together, dancing together in thy light, dancing together in thy light, dancing together in thy light. Om. E pilipa'a naka iyo. E ke aloha pilipa'a. Let the wonderful security that the hawk, the Hawaiian hawk, enjoys be ours and in our homes. Hawks mate for life, just like wolves. And of course, the Hawaiian hawk is no exception. We are privileged tonight. We have the presence here of an old friend. Mary Kavena Pukui is with us, a wonderful, wonderful being who collaborated with others to compile, which was not an easy task, the English and Hawaiian dictionary and many other books. In fact, if it weren't for her, we wouldn't know a lot of things that we know about our ancestors and those who were here on this Aina before we were. You are all Hawaiian. There's not one of you that isn't. All of you are. And she's here to share a story, she tells me. She says her storytelling days are not over. Makai. She tells me the story of a young Hawaiian boy who lived not that long ago, who happened to be born into a family that was what I guess we'd have to call dysfunctional on the Waianae coast. But he was a very advanced soul, and he had a natural instinct or tendency to try and do whatever he could to make things better. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. He used to very much enjoy, though, whenever he could, going with his older brother, riding in his pickup truck down the beach to Makaha. And there they would have fun and sing and do music, arikapila. And there he met this magnificent being, a big guy, called Israel Kamakaviva Ole. And he would sit and listen while this big, huge guy played this little tiny ukulele and sang beautiful songs. And because he was a little boy and hadn't lived long, he assumed that was life. It would always be there, because children do that, they don't know any different. And time went on, the years went on, everything was beautiful, but things at home weren't so beautiful. But he talked to this man who he came to know as Brother Iz, and he would get wisdom from him, and Brother Iz would tell him, oh, it's going to get better, it's going to get better. And he trusted that it would. And it didn't seem to, though. And he waited, and sometimes it seemed good, but it didn't. And then he'd go home to a really ugly scene, and it wasn't so good, no matter what he tried. And there was a day when, and it was a Christmas time, by the way, which is why she's telling us the story, when this kid felt, oh, if I could just, make like presents for everybody, maybe everybody will be happy, and this will work. And so he did what he could, and he scraped together what he could. And with his things, for one, he made a little shell necklace. For another, he made like a little canoe out of palm leaves, whatever he could find, he threw it together. And he was just about ready to go home because he could find most of the materials on the beach, And so he did that, and he was just about gathering them up. And brothers happened to notice that and say, hey, what are you doing, bro? And he, shared. And then he was surprised that, this great big guy who he always looked as like this big, kind of like a big Buddha, you know, and there at the beach, was basically crying, you know, and he said, well, you know, what's going on? And Buddy said, he goes, you know, you've really touched me, you know, you've really touched me. And you know, the little boy kind of, you know, okay, well, he didn't quite understand that fully, but the fact that he made Buddy's cry, you know, I mean, in a good way, made him happy. And so he went home and he, you know, gave the gifts that he could, and you know, and some people liked him and others just kind of looked at him, and he'd made about 8 apparently, and all that was well. Then he went to sleep, and that night he had a dream. In the dream he saw Paris, and he said, I told you it was going to get better. He goes, it's going to get better real soon. And he was very happy when he woke up, even though, you know, he didn't get quite the, you know, expected appreciation that he thought he would like to get, or just to make people happy. And then he couldn't wait to get back and tell buddies that, you know, about it, and so, but he couldn't get back there because his older brother, the truck broke down. I said, there's only ways to get down there, right? Couldn't get down there. So he had to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. But when he went back, buddy wasn't there anymore. And then he kept asking, they said, oh, he's not around, not around. And he kept asking, but it never happened. He kept waiting and waiting. He never saw buddies again. Buddies got sick and had to be taken away. He didn't see him again. And then he had a dream, another dream. And Buddy said, I told you it's going to get better. And he went, yeah. And then the little boy said, well, where have you been? He goes, I'm over here saving a place for you. And he said, well, when will I get to join you? And he goes, when everybody in your family appreciate what you gave them. Oh, it takes so long, you know, how long? And but he goes, you just wait, well, my, they're all gonna appreciate. And one by one, it took a while, they came around. It was about 2 years though. One by one, you know, they all told him, you know what, the thing you made for me, I like that. But the funny thing was that the final one was his older brother. And when he finally said that to him, he had a weird feeling, you know. Went to sleep. That night, he felt like heavy light around him, the little boy. He was 8, by the way. And he saw this incredible light show. Next thing you knew, he was sitting there with buddies who was hugging him going, I told you, I'm going to get better. And then the little boy looked down and saw his body on the bed. And he wondered, you know, what was going on? But he goes, never mind about that. You used it to bring light. He goes, they'll never forget you. And he suddenly realized what had happened, that he had left his body, which was a big mystery, you know, to him. And he went with buddies, and he found that the next day when they found him, though they were very, you know, shocked and all this kind of stuff, but that really it turned into a great blessing, because out of that came a ripple that went stronger and stronger and stronger, you know. And eventually he made friends with a lot of people in his new home, and there was a very beautiful woman there who used to talk to him a lot, and he kept saying, I've seen you before, but I don't remember you, you know. She says, yeah, you remember me? I says, you're on the water. My name was Rel. I was Rel's son. I used to surf. And she, you know, was his friend. And little by little, he made a whole new family. And one day, Buddy said, I want to take you to one special lady, and took him to our beloved auntie, you know, Mary Kavenapagui. And she welcomed him and said, can I tell you a story to people to inspire them and show them how it's what good you do on earth, you don't know how long you have. That's what happened. And so he is here right now. This beautiful little boy right next to her. And she's telling the story, and he's really happy because he sees that each one of us in our own way are, you know, relating to it and seeing the lesson that is there. And it really has everything to do with the fact that it's not about time, it's not about opportunity, you know, how long are we going to be alive, because of course there's no death. There's no such thing, but it is about how much good we can do when we can do it. That's the real situation. That's what really counts. And he's seen the good of it, you know. And so each in our own way can, in this moment, send our love to this little boy and let him know that, by showing us this, he has taught us a deep and beautiful lesson. And that each one of us now needs to take that and bring it right down into our bodies and do what we can do right here and now. Because we are here physically. This is where the need is at, right? Obviously. Not there. So this is the place where we got to share as much as we can. Maybe not be so preoccupied with our own problems, but with seeing what good we can do. Because you don't know. Time is short. So Auntie Mary Pukui is thanking us for allowing her to tell her story. And she's very grateful, and I'm very grateful to her, as I'm sure you all are. We have this wonderful debt to her of a lot of sweetness that she's brought us and teaching us what was going on here before. Mary Kavena Pukui was the one that gave me my name, my Hawaiian name, which is Hakalani, which means Haka is the word for medium, and Lani means of the heaven worlds. Yeah, she's the one that gave me that in a very special way. It's very, very, I'm really blessed and privileged, so I have a real special thing with her for sure, and so she is, a very special guest tonight for us at this meeting. I didn't expect her, I didn't know she was coming, but she's come, and now we all have her wonderful aloha that we can share. Now, roll your sleeves up. We're going to get to work. There's somebody you know really well, who needs a lot of help. Focus on them, whoever they are. One person. I know there might be a lot. Pick one, right? One, okay? Somebody you know who you love dearly. It's got to be someone you love a lot, okay? Not just a neighbor. Not to say you can't love a neighbor, but pick someone you really, really have a strong heart thing with, a strong, strong love for. That's in flesh, not in spirit, because they're okay. Don't worry. Someone in flesh who really needs help bad. How? Because they're in pain, maybe. They need it. They really need help. Pick someone. I'm sure you know. Pick just one for the moment if you could. Okay? Use your electric force. And whatever you see as the thing that's tormenting them, send it away. You can do that. You can do that. Answer prayers. Be God's hands and feet and send it away from them, because you can do it. To the extent that their karma and cosmic law will allow, you can do it. Send it away. Because what you're doing is a form of prayer. It's a very active prayer. It's a very powerful prayer. It's a very effective prayer. End their suffering to the extent that you will be allowed to by law. But to the extent that you can love them and really do this, you'd be surprised. It goes a long way. If they create another such, that's their business, But, you can do this. So let's alleviate some suffering tonight on the planet. Use your electric energy and neutralize something in the life of someone you love dearly who just don't know how to get rid of whatever it is, their problem. Get rid of it for them. You cannot be blamed for trying. Focus your love on seeing them happy and rid of something they themselves may have thought they'd never get rid of. This is where God steps in. You are instruments in this hour of that wonderful, loving compassion. And let us be silent now as we do this, and I'll share with you, of course, because I'll do the same. Let's be real effective here. Okay, accept that that's accomplished. Because, of course, God always accomplishes whatever God wants. That's obvious in the universe itself. And now, we're going to revert to the magnetic current. Draw something in that would make you really, really, really happy. And I really hope you can get in touch with that. We don't want any little manini things here. What would just put a smile on your face that wouldn't go away? Get it? Time for Christmas gifts. Not for anyone else, for you. For some of you, this is going to be a big challenge, because some of you, oh, but I can give it to somebody else. No. You're being disobedient. The instruction is to draw in something for you. And I mean, and I don't care what it is. And please, be open, okay? No shame. So don't be thinking, oh, that's not spiritual. Who cares? Everything is spiritual. You can't wish for anything that isn't. I want you to know that, okay, by the way. Really, anything that would make your heart happy is obviously spiritual. That's that simple, okay? So please, think of something that you, and this isn't for anybody else now, this is going to be really hard. I can see it in your auras. Some of you, it's really hard. Oh, no, but that would, you, okay? You. Keep it to yourself now. It's for you. Pick that thing, be like little kids now. I challenge you to do that. Pick something like a little kid, Chris says, ooh, it'd make you so happy. That's what I really wanted. That's what we're going for, okay? Pick something you really, really want, only for you. This is not being selfish. It is having compassion for you. It's being loving to you. It's giving to you. There's nothing wrong with that. It's beautiful. Charity begins at home. So, you can give to others any other time. But right now, if you don't mind, work with us here, please. Let's get a current going. Think of something that is totally for you, that would make you so happy. Now, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else. And I can't imagine that whatever you'd want would, but whatever. I mean, it can be very material. If you need a new car, think of a new car. You need a new boyfriend or girlfriend, get one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't skimp here. Think of what would make you so happy. I mean, really happy. And I challenge you to be more honest than you've ever been in your life. Really think of it, please. And again, I don't mean to be redundant, but something says, please don't go off in some very beautiful, maybe ordinarily in noble spiritual direction. Go for something earthly, earth plane. You're in physical bodies. What would make you really, really, really happy? Find something, please. Do the best you can, anyway. And whatever it is, locate it and draw it in. It's for you now, not for someone else. It's for you. There's something very special about this. Some of you go, oh, but what about, I don't want to be selfish. Okay, you're not being selfish. You're honoring the God in your heart who is trying to accomplish something and expresses his or her desires and needs through your desires. There's nothing wrong with desire, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone. Be honest, be real honest, and draw in what you really, really, really would love, okay? Please, let's do it. Pull. Some of you aren't pulling them to pull. Draw it towards yourself, please. Bring it into your living room. Bring it to your home. Bring it into your life. It's not enough to see it. Pull it. Draw it. That's the magnetic current you want to cultivate. Show your subconscious mind how to do this so it can do it for you. Pull it. Just like it was at the end of a rope. Pull it in. Otherwise, it won't get there. Good. That's it. There you go. Thank you. Pull. Big hukila here. Pull, pull, pull. Otherwise you don't eat. Okay, one final tug. Pull. Strong. It's yours. Claim it. You have every right to it. It's yours. Accept it. Love it. It's yours. There's no reason why you can't have it. This thing that we do, this working with pulling and pushing, in a sense, electromagnetic energy, okay, you need to know is part of our maturing process as evolving spiritual beings. A little kid has the bed made for them until they learn to make it for themselves. A little kid has their meals cooked for them until they learn to cook for themselves, etc., etc., etc. We need to start to use the energies and the forces of the universe to serve ourselves. You see? There's nothing wrong with it. There's a strange belief that, well, God knows what I need, and I'll get it. Oh, that's very nice. It's also inaccurate. God knows everything. How come you don't have what you need? Maybe God's waiting for you to ask for it, or better yet, to pull it in. Yeah, think about that. Really. Because sometimes, our own past, maybe religious beliefs, spiritual beliefs, might appear to